Hey everybody, it's Allie, and welcome to our Y&R Chat for Sunday, August 20th, 2023. Run, Connor! Run, boy! Run! I wouldn't normally tell a kid to run away from home, but I think in this case he might be better off. Just think of all the things that Grandma Anita can teach him, such as how to pick a pocket, how to get free meals by dining and dashing. You know, lots of useful stuff. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I thought that Billy's conversation with Connor was really timely with all the kids going back to school now. Connor's home life has made him a target at school, and that's devastating for a kid who just wants to be a kid and have some friends. He had started to become close with Johnny, but now Johnny and Katie are getting shipped off to a different boarding school, so Connor feels totally alone. So much so that he put his colored camo backpack on over his camo colored shirt and he hit the streets hoping to not be detected in all of that camo. But it is a good thing that Miss Sally Spectra just so happened to spot him again. Didn't this happen one other time? I could swear that we have seen this before. Connor tried to run away, and it was Sally who found him in the park and called Adam. She is the perfect person to find Connor twice because, for one, from the way she's described her childhood, I could totally see her running away from home or running away from the carnival a couple of times. And second, I can see that the point of it is to bond Sally with Adam's lost child after they lost their child together. Lost child Connor, lost child Ava. Yes, that is the point. So now let's all go out for ice cream and pretend that none of this happened, shall we? Or if that doesn't work, we'll just ship Connor off to boarding school with Johnny and Katie like all good little soap opera kids do. Kyle Abbott, that sexy rat fink. Okay. Audra confided her little blackmail problem in Kyle, and Kyle said, well, why don't you just go to Victor and tattle on Adam? It'll make you look good, and it'll make Adam look bad. Problem solved. And so that's what she did. I'm actually completely shocked that Victor did not fire Audra for this. Then again, I'm guessing that it's only because if he did fire Audra, then she could just turn around and tell the whole world what Adam did to her, and then that would look bad on the new company that Victor was off in Europe raising capital for. So I guess that's the reason she still has a job. So it worked out for her. Now Audra and Kyle are feeling pretty good about themselves. I guess I don't see it as quite the master move that they do, but they got some pretty good sex out of it, and so that makes it good in my book. I'm just kind of hoping that we're setting up some sexual tension between Audra and Adam, too. She believes she got the best of him, and now they hate each other, which I think is a pretty good starting place for romance. I mean, Audra and Audra, ooh, that would be their couple name. Adam and Audra are they're a lot alike, you know? Well, but also, we're kind of starting to set up this laughable feud again between Kyle and Adam. I say laughable because it creeps up every now and then. Adam and Kyle sort of give each other a side eye, but it's mostly mild and it rarely ever goes anywhere. But then again, who knows? I mean, we're definitely getting a different look from Kyle lately. He's doing some different stuff, so all it really would take is a couple of good scripts, and who knows, Kyle could become the dark horse that we never saw coming. Well, Adam got a tongue lashing from Victor over it all. He didn't lose his job, though. Victor claims that he still needs Adam on the payroll, so now it's just created this, more tension, which Nikki sees as just another way that Adam is hurting Victor and will never be the son that Victor wants him to be, even though Adam is exactly his father's son. Adam gets reprimanded for all of the same behaviors that made Victor a tycoon. I guess the difference is that Victor did it all on his own time. I just keep feeling like Adam is going to have to break away from Victor's companies, from Victor-owned companies, if he wants to ever get the kind of autonomy that he's clearly looking for. Gee, getting in trouble with Victor, son running away. Not good for Adam. But one little good thing did happen for Adam this week. Sally stopped by his new apartment with a housewarming gift. But what was it? I'm dying. You cannot bring a beautifully wrapped box onto my screen and then not open it in front of me. I need to know what was in the box. Was it hair gel? Was it black fingernail polish? Was it a clove of garlic? I don't know. I need to know. Oh, I guess that gift is not important because the bigger gift was simply her presence. Adam invited Sally to hang out at his apartment alone while he went to see Victor. And so she started unpacking his boxes for him, which I think is rather presumptuous. He told her to hang out, order dinner, not go through his stuff. And then question him about it. As she was unpacking some of his books, actually it was like 3 copies of the same book. Maybe it was a series. It was dictionaries. She was unpacking, encyclopedias. As she was unpacking his Encyclopedia Britannicas, she opened one up and she found several photos of them when they were together as a couple. And rather than just tucking them back away and moving on, Sally asked Adam about them. She had the nerve to ask Adam about the photos that he saved, and she said, "Adam, why do you have these?" And I thought, do you seriously not know why he has the photos? He has been telling you repeatedly for nearly a year now that he loves you. Does he really need to spell it out for you again? Or do you just want to hear it again so that you can shut him down again? Because she scolded him about it, saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be stuck in the past, Adam." And then she scolded him again when Nick showed up. I have a question. If Nick were in town that night, would she have gone to Adam's place in the first place? And if Nick were around, if she knew Nick were around, she didn't know he was in town. If she knew that Nick was there in town, would she have stayed? Would she have hung out? I don't know. Nick kind of surprised them both by showing up at Adam's apartment, and he was all in a huff about the little Audra blackmail scam. Sharon later reined Nick in by saying, look, we have bigger fish to fry. Adam is gonna be Adam. He ultimately wants what we want, which is for the company that we're building to be a success. A merger wouldn't even be a bad thing, so just stop focusing on Adam, start focusing on your job. But I think that Nick has a reason to be worried. It seems like there are little signs beginning to crop up that Sally is changing her mind about having a relationship with Adam. Sally admitted to Adam during their next run-in at Society. She admitted that she was up at 2 a.m. the previous night, thinking about what it was that he wanted to tell her before he ran off to see Victor and left her alone in the apartment. And she thought that it was going to be another pitch for them to get back together. And from the way she was talking, it sounded to me like she was suddenly feeling conflicted about it. Well, what Adam really wanted was to offer her a job again, and she turned it down again because she wanted to accept Victor's job offer. But then when she went all the way out to the ranch to talk to Victor about it, Victor rescinded the deal. Imagine that. You can't trust Victor Newman. Kind of like what everybody was telling you, including Chloe, by the way. Why would Victor do that? Why would Victor be so cold? My guess is, I guess, the same as Sally's guess, that it really wasn't meant to punish Sally. It was meant to punish Adam for the Audra blackmail. Instead of, punishing Adam directly, he punished Sally, and that's a way for Victor to hurt Adam even more, or to punish him even more. Especially when Sally seems to blame Adam for Victor's decision. I don't know, Adam said, okay, well, but then just come work with me. And Sally says, no, I'll never work with you, but she will. A couple weeks from now, she will. Adam and Nick are certainly going to agree that, she needs to be hired at SNA Media. Especially since she has her Newman Media experience. Okay, SNA Media. What do you guys think of that name? Let's put a poll on that this week. Do you like it? Is it better than Augustus? What do you think? YRChat.com is where you can cast your vote on the name change. I don't know. I kind of liked Augustus better. SNA Media, it doesn't have much character, I guess. It doesn't seem like it has any personality to it at all. It's just very cold and bland. I mean, it didn't have to be Scorched Earth, but I don't know. SNA's a little boring. Plus, Sharon, Nick, Adam, I think Sharon came up with the name and put her S first, of course. But all three of them won't be working there for long, and then we'll have to change the name again to different initials. Maybe this S will stop being Sharon and start being Sally. Who knows? And is Chloe going to end up working there too? What happens to Chloe? What happens to Chloe? Because the decision that Sally made against Chloe's wishes landed Chloe out of a job too. And if Chloe is gone, then who is going to nag Sally about her growing feelings for Adam? Sally's starting to become a bit of a nag on her own, if you ask me. I know that the majority of you guys are still holding out hope for Adam and Sally, but I just don't like the way that Sally talks to Adam sometimes. This week, she literally said to him, "Stop acting like you're 5 years old." And I don't know, I thought that seemed kind of disrespectful to say to somebody, and she just gets away with it because he loves her. She just gets to treat him however she wants just because he broke up with her and now he still loves her. I don't know. Stop acting like you're 5 years old. I feel like it's being framed as, oh, wow, look what great advice Sally is giving Adam. She told him to stop acting like he's 5 years old, and then he didn't argue with Nick and Sharon about the real estate or the name change of the company. Well, then Sally must be the only one who can get through to Adam. I don't know, but it doesn't fly with me. I also didn't like her standing there behind Nick, questioning Adam about the blackmail like she was a teacher questioning a naughty student. I felt like she needed to have a ruler in her hand or something, like, "Adam, did you write on the bathroom wall?" Like she's an authority figure in his life, and if she disapproves of his actions, well, then he must be wrong. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad that she is evolving her feelings toward him, especially in the wake of the miscarriage. And I do think that the housewarming gift was a good first step toward friendship, but Y&R is going to have to get me back on board with their friendship first, and then I'll be open to more. And a friendship also, to me, just would include acceptance, not nagging. Ugh, I don't know. But then again, it's like, I feel like I want a fresh start. I just want a fresh start. I think that Audra and Adam would be so good together. They would have no baggage. None of the baggage. Please, Y&R, give me Audra and Adam. I want someone who can understand, who would, where there's a mutual understanding, not just like Audra understanding Adam and Adam understanding Audra, and neither one of the people in the couple feeling the need to change the other one or school the other one or help the other one become a better person. Also, maybe if Adam got involved with Audra, then that would give he and Kyle something fun to fight over. Audra and Nate's little cover-up has really opened Victoria's eyes. She told Nate she doesn't even know if she can trust him now. And now, even though I like Victoria and Nate very much, I think Victoria's questioning of him is a very good thing. I think Victoria should be questioning him. And I think she should be questioning herself, given her relationship history. But in my mind, this is the first thing that Nate has done in the relationship that's questionable. Every ounce of power that Nate has, Victoria has given to him freely. He didn't take anything, he didn't steal anything, he didn't manipulate anything. And it was his mistake to misuse that power, and he did. Victoria called him to the mat about him and Audra having the same merger idea, and he lied. Nate lied. I'm sure that none of us have ever done that. I don't know about you, but I have never. I mean, he tried tap dancing around the topic, and then Victoria said, "Oh, come on, just tell me the truth." And then he did. And at first, Victoria didn't seem to think that it was a very big deal. She even said to Victor and Nikki, "Nate's only crimes are friendship and ambition. Friendship and ambition." But then she kind of she glossed over it all and put her focus onto Adam, and like, you know, it was Adam's blackmail of Audra was the root of the problem, not Nate's decision making around it. But then it was a conversation with Billy, of all people, that seemed to turn Victoria around. Billy told Victoria, you can talk to me. And when she told him a little bit about the problem, he said, okay, I think you have a right to be suspicious here. Maybe she needed, I mean, Billy's not exactly a neutral party. She's had people telling her that for quite a while, that she has a right to be suspicious of him. I mean, Nate immediately went into damage control mode. He went out to the ranch, paid a visit to Victor to explain himself, and then he tried explaining himself again to Victoria too, saying that the reason he didn't tell her was that he just really wanted to impress her with his ability to handle the whole situation on his own. He wanted to be her hero. And I think that it's true that Nate's fatal flaw is hubris. The same thing that Billy said. I mean, that's been the downfall of many characters in their pursuit of power. I think Nate got overconfident, overcomfortable, but I don't see him as insincere. I guess the question that will be interesting to see play out is, well, if Nate had to choose between his job at Newman and his romance with Victoria, which would he pick? I wouldn't mind seeing her put him to the test on that one, because last week Nate told Nikki that he did not think he was in love with Victoria. He wasn't even thinking about love. But now that love's been brought up, and now that he's been caught, this week he is telling Victoria that he's falling in love with her. So which one of those things weighs more? The love of Victoria or the love of the power that she's given him? Sorry, Ashley. Tracy upstaged you at your own wedding with her sharp new haircut. Oh my gosh, it's perfect. Shape, length, color, perfect. It's like a masterpiece on her head. Oh, when did Tracy find time to go get her fabulous new haircut in between all of her wedding decor fluffing? The living room was decorated with gold and silver candles and about 1 million white orchids, which I'm sure Tracy arranged all herself. Each of the 1 million orchids she personally fluffed. Oh, but Abby was there too, making sure the day was as special as possible for her mother. I always appreciate those bridal dressing room scenes. I loved seeing Ashley in her white robe, just casually putting on her blush in the makeup mirror with a bottle of, I'm sure, Jabot's finest perfumery on the desk in front of her. So many options. Oh, so many options. I love that moment in any and all weddings. I don't care as much about the something old, something new thing, but Abby did that, and it made for a very nice mother-daughter bonding moment. We didn't need something blue because Ashley's dress was blue. Ugh. I loved the dress. I don't know what you guys thought about it, but I thought that frosty shade of blue was perfect for those chilly wedding vows. I mean, that was so awkward, but yet it was also so very them, you know. Did neither Tucker or Ashley think far enough ahead to come up with some wedding vows? I mean, it turned out really well, though. It came off as more conversational than presentational. Ashley called Tucker a proper bastard right there at the altar in front of the padre. That moment was almost a bit of foreshadowing, considering the fact that Ashley woke up the very next morning, morning after her wedding, assuming Tucker to have been a proper bastard. For all this time, and for all of the keeping Tucker at arm's length that Ashley has been doing, I think Ashley was just really insecure. She trusted Tucker, and he betrayed her, and then she forgave him, trusted him again, and he betrayed her again. He betrayed her in that intimacy way. It's just that there's something so just extra hurtful about that. So she was in tears the very next morning, thinking that he had done it again and that she had made a huge mistake in marrying him because he had left the room on his wedding night and then wound up in Audra's suite of all places. I'm sure that in Ashley's mind, Tucker was probably in Audra's suite, boinking Audra, while they both were celebrating making such a fool out of her. I mean, I just can imagine that that was her crippling fear. I can't believe she let him sleep in before questioning him about it. I mean, By the way, I thought that Trevor St. John's chest, his pecs, his chest and pecs really stole that scene. He has a really nice crop of chest hair. The chest hair was so nicely brushed, shaped, just all perfectly coming down over his perky pecs. Oh gosh, sorry, but it was all I could look at. His mouth was moving as he was explaining the blackmail situation and why he was there, but I was just looking at his pecs and his chest hair. I hope he hears that. And I hope he feels good about that. It really drew my attention away from the plot. Well, Tucker, also told Ashley, well, Kyle was there. He was a witness. So, that seemed to assuage her doubts. But, I mean, it's not a good foot to start off your first day of marriage on. I mean, is Ashley always going to be wondering where Tucker is? Is she always going to be wondering who he's with? Is there any way that Tucker is going to bust out a post-nup to reassure Ashley? Maybe the way that Diane busted out the post-nup to reassure Ashley. Tucker just wanted a regular wedding with champagne and cake and kiss the bride. And instead he had to deal with the whole Abbott family drama. On the day where he was actually achieving the very thing that he came to town for, almost exactly 1 year ago. 1 year ago was when Tucker showed up in a helicopter at Kyle and Summer's re-wedding. And he was declaring that he wanted Ashley back, and he spent essentially all year playing her games in order to make it happen. And then here on his most victorious day, he had to separate Jack and Ashley like a teacher breaking up a schoolyard fight or something. Jack's wedding gift to Ashley, was it appropriate? A buyout of her Jabot ownership and her My Beauty patents returned to her. Well, I mean, I think Jack saw it as a peace offering and also as a test. But I think maybe like a spa gift certificate would have been better as a wedding gift. Because Ashley blew up thinking that it was some kind of trick. And then Billy blew up thinking he needed to jump in and wrench up the drama. I mean, forget Diane. Forget about Diane. She has been neutralized now that she has drawn up the prenup. Billy is the new drama. I mean, Jack and Ashley calmed down and everybody went their separate ways, but Billy admitted to Chelsea this week that he's tempted to take Ashley's offer to try to, take over Chabot. And he has a motive to do it. Billy has spent years on the sidelines, always being the black sheep. And now he's in a position not only to influence, but actually to control the future of the company. And I think it's possible that Billy might just backstab not just Jack, but Ashley too, and find a way to take over the company all on his own. That would be great. If Billy somehow manages to pull that off and Jack loses Chabot again in the 50th season of Y&R, I guarantee you Jack is going to cry. And I am going to cry. We are all going to cry. Well, I know who I am, and I embrace it. That was last week's Who Said It quote. The answer was Adam. He was actually saying it to Nate, kind of saying, well, the one big difference between you and me is I know who I am, and I embrace it, implying that Nate's kind of in denial about who he is and what he wants. I like that about Adam. I want Adam to know who he is and to embrace it. That's why I think Sally's advice about how he lives his life is unneeded. But boy, quite a lot of you guys got that right. 16 people? Well done, Ron, Henry, Daisy, Kenzie, Francie, Calvin, Dolores, Ellen, Tina Cole, Wonderful Wendy, Sharon W., David D., Brittany, Diana, Sam, and Heather K. Wow. Wow. I've got a really good quote this week. I'm so happy with this, but I have a feeling you're all going to get it. We'll just have to find out. Who said it? Where's Norman Rockwell when you need him? Where's Norman Rockwell when you need him? If you think you know who said that, go to yrchat.com, leave your guess, and if you get it right, I will give you your shout out during next week's Y&R Chat. Well, now on to comments. Actually, last week I asked you guys for a poll question if you would ever actually attend a Y&R fan event. 59% of you said yes, you would consider it if the travel and the cost of it all were reasonable for you. 41% said no, you would just not be interested in ever attending a fan event. Sue W says no, and I know it's weird that I'm very interested in the made-up characters and their made-up lives, but I have little interest in the real people / the celebrities who portray them. Sue W, I think we have that in common very much. I mean, I barely get the actors' names right half of the time anyway, but yeah, I feel that knowing too much about the behind the scenes stuff or the celebrity stuff, or it sort of pulls me out of my fantasy. I like preserving the fantasy, and I do think that going to a fan event would probably rock that a little bit for me, but I would consider it. I would consider it more now than in the past, only probably because I kind of would just, I mean, I'd be more interested in being with Y&R fans, the fans, than with the celebrities and the cast themselves. Although honestly, I would like to get some I would like to talk to the costume designers, the set designers. I think that would be interesting. The lighting crew, that would be more interesting to me personally. I'm always afraid that the actors or actresses would say something that would make me never be able to look at them the same way again. But I think at this point I would be more likely to do it now than in the past. Henry says, I'm an autograph seeker, and just to be in the midst of those Y&R stars would fry my chicken. It would just fry my chicken. Henry says. I love that. As a matter of fact, to visit Hollywood, California is on the top of my bucket list. That would be so cool. I mean, it really would be. It's so expensive, though. But yeah, that'd be it. I just want to see the sets. I just want my midnight tour of the sets. That is all I want before I die for my bucket list. That would really fry my chicken. Well, Diana has been to a couple of Y&R fan events. A couple, maybe years ago at this point, you went to the Eric Braeden fan event. You also got Scott Reeves's autograph. I think you said you were young and you lost the autograph, but he played Ryan, and he was definitely a hottie of the show of the time. But I also like this from Diana. I was around 12 years old, and many of the characters came to a fair in Brampton, Ontario, where I used to live, and I remember seeing Jerry Douglas's face in the window of a trailer. It was neat. Oh, I like that. I don't think I've heard you say that before. That is kind of cool. Well, Heather says, several years back, my close friend worked for a magazine, and we attended the Soap Digest Awards. And I still remember the details to this day. Here's the tea. Ava Longoria was very quiet and stayed away from everyone. She was stunning. I couldn't believe how pretty she was when I saw her. That's Isabella. Michelle Stafford seemed very full of herself, and so did Melody Thomas Scott. Oh yeah, at an award show they were probably waiting to get their accolades. They both had great complexions, and I remember, and Michelle's body was beyond perfect. Yeah, she's very slinky. She's got those slinky dresses for a reason. Oh, this is interesting. Jack Abbott Peter Bergman was also standoffish and just not interested in talking to anyone outside of his peers. That is so surprising. I mean, maybe depending on the year, but it's like now he seems like such an ambassador to the show and always like really seems to appreciate the fans. So that's kind of surprising to hear. See, these are the details that I'm afraid to know. But Christian LeBlanc was the absolute nicest person you could imagine. So sweet and complimentary. He hung with us for a while along with the actress who played Malcolm's girlfriend for a short while and was also super sweet. Don't recall her name. I don't remember who that would be either. Keisha, maybe? Was it Keisha? But I love that Christian LeBlanc was really nice. I mean, I would think it's tough balance because, you know, you would be at an award show, you're there, you want to be with your friends, you know, you want to be enjoying your moment, but you have to always also be appreciative of the fans. You have to acknowledge them too, and that's their moment too. If there are fans there, that's their moment to see you, and you would be wise to be a little more respectful of them. Oh, well, let's talk about weddings. This is a fun fact from Diana, who says, on Global TV, they give you some fun facts about the show, and apparently there have been 179 weddings on the show since it first aired. Oh my gosh, this 179 weddings, why does that seem so low? Wouldn't you think that number would be higher? What would you guess? Maybe I should have made that a guess. Well, everybody would have been able to see that, but 179 seems low. It feels like there's at least 4 or 5 weddings per year. Well, not lately, but in 50 years, so I guess that comes out to 3 weddings per year. So, okay, you know what? Yeah, that is right on. 179. Also from Diana, I loved Abby's dress that she wore at Ashley's wedding. It was a beautiful tan color, your favorite, Allie. And the style and the fit really suited Abby. She wore it so well and looked very classy. Ooh, I have to pause there too because, I mean, her body looked so good. Like when she turned around, I did look at her butt and I thought, gosh, I wish my butt looked like that. There is zero chance that I could wear a dress that's so form-fitting and turn around and have it look good. I might be able to pull it off from the front, but the second I turn around, all bets are off. Diana says, I also liked Ashley's baby blue dress. She chose not to wear the traditional white, which makes sense since it's not Ashley's first time down the aisle. But I really appreciated the large bedroom scene we got. That was very unexpected. We haven't seen a large bedroom in a long time on the show. It reminded me of the sets that we would get back in the day. So I'm glad Y&R is listening to what the viewers want and visually enjoy. Yeah, that set was large. We do get that one. We get a short little bedroom. We get the bed and a table now, but that was more of a suite. I mean, about Ashley's blue dress, that gets my best dress, no doubt about it. I loved Ashley's blue dress. It takes the wedding cake. Ashley's dress takes the wedding cake, and it was just the perfect color, and I loved the fringy, sparkly blue toss-back sleeve thing that it had. It just felt right, and I thought that her groom, Tucker, looked very smart in his pinstripe shirt. I think it was brown, which, yes, I like. I do like brown, but I would give Abby the runners-up for that dress, no doubt about it. She was looking fresh. Fresh as a peach. Second runner-up for best dressed for me would be just Chelsea's oblong bag. Second runner-up prize for fashion goes to Chelsea's big old bag. I mean, for weeks now, Melissa Claire Egan's baby bump has been hidden beneath the Crimson Lights table, so I was wondering how they were going to pull off having her go to the wedding, and then sure enough, giant bag strategically placed. I love that trick. It never gets old. Dolores says, love, love, love Tracy's haircut. And Diane's pink dress. They need to give her a more colorful wardrobe. And all the wedding guest dresses. Victor's goatee, though, not so much. Oh, Dolores, you know, it's funny. The wedding fashion that I really did not like was Diane's hot pink dress. She gets my worst dress vote. I mean, I feel like it's been probably for the past year that we are always complaining that Diane only wears dark colors. And to me, it turns out that that's just what looks best on her. I didn't think the bright pink worked at all. Maybe it's because she's got such a natural look with that silvery, gorgeous hair, and the bright color I just feel like it clashed with it. You let me know, who's your best and worst dressed for Ashley and Tucker's wedding? Sharon W. says, I loved the Diane Ashley half hug. That was funny. I thought Eileen Davidson pulled it. It was so right. It was just like, okay. It was like, I'm going to go in, but I can't go all the way. I'm going in, but I can't go all the way. And yeah, Gary says, where were all of Ashley's friends at this mockery of a wedding? She doesn't have any. There's a reason why. Yeah, we really would have had more dresses and fashion to talk about if Ashley had some friends. Diana says Tucker shouldn't have gone to Audra's room. He lucked out that Kyle was there, as he didn't know that. The decision to go to her room could have cost Tucker his marriage already. Yeah, that is true. I didn't think of that, but yeah, he didn't know Kyle was going to be there. And Kyle, that seemed to be the thing that really reassured Ashley. So, ooh, yeah, he really could have blown it on his wedding night. What did he even need to be out for? He was feeling restless. He had to go down to the bar. All right. Well, Gary says it's a stroke of genius. A belated prenup contract. That ought to shut up all the naysayers in town. Let's print it in the Genoa City Chronicle. Yes. Yes, it was a brilliant move on Diane's part. And it gives her a delicious little piece of news to spread. I mean, you know, everybody's going to be saying, oh, well, now that you're married to Jack, I'm going to get the money and blah, 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 blah. And she can say, hey, look what I did. I have a post-nup. So eat it. New topic. Sharon W. says, I loved the park scene with Sally and Connor. He's always seemed to trust her. And for the crazy life that she's led, she knows a lot of understanding and compassion for his feelings and fears. She also told him that she missed him and wanted to catch up in order to keep him from heading off to his friend's house. I thought this was a very touching scene and showed that she has the instincts to do what's best for him. As I've said previously, she needs a light bulb moment to realize that she and Adam would be great parents together. Since she's out of a job now again, Adam should offer a new job that she can't refuse. Decorate his new apartment, and then they can get busy getting reacquainted. Most likely on his brown leather sofa. Yeah, that's a good comment. And I did like that Sally had that connection moment with Connor. It was good. Well, Ellen makes a good point, though, saying, so now Connor is officially more comfortable talking to Billy about his feelings than he is talking to Adam? Sure. Adam has always been very close with Connor and an excellent father. It makes sense that Connor may be worried about upsetting his mother, since Chelsea has had some serious challenges recently, but no, Connor does not need a new magical stepfather in Billy. Give me a break. Let Billy parent his own invisible children. That's a great point. I didn't even think about that. I mean, we understand why Connor wouldn't feel comfortable talking to Chelsea right now, but why not Adam instead of Billy? It's just all because this was meant to be a bonding point for Adam and Sally. That's what I think. I mean, Adam kind of needed to be out of the loop so that Sally could put him in it. Dolores says, my heart felt a little bit of sadness for Adam when Sally asked him why he kept the pictures of them. And he tells her it's a reminder of a time when he was happy. Wow. For him, those pictures were the only tangible things he had that gave him pleasure and good memories of belonging to someone he loved and who loved him and believed in him. This now had a more special meaning for him to have and keep, especially after his meeting with Victor and Nikki. Sally was speechless. And Ellen says, it's too little too late. I'm still mad. Adam deserves better than Sally, the cold-hearted circus woman. Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to continue to debate this. Some of the fans are still really just waiting for that reunion. And I agree with Ellen. For me, it is too little too late. Y&R had this wonderful golden opportunity with Sally and Adam. I mean, they really could have been like a bombshell for the show. They had me. But they lost me. And it seemed like, every time it seemed like maybe they were going to get back to it and it was going to work out, then they, didn't work out. And at this point, it's just been too long. Well, Sue W. says, I'm still wishing Chloe would be back on with a featured storyline. And of course, I get that some characters are integral support only. I mean, I don't know about contracts and reoccurring actors' personal lives or whatever, but dang it, I love the actress and I'd love to see her front and center on the show. I don't need to see every peripheral character featured. I'm fine with off-screen references and occasional sightings, but like all viewers, I have my favorite characters. And for me, I'd like more Chloe. Yeah, I like Chloe a lot too. I think the actress is funny and she brings spunk to the screen. Plus, I'm still waiting for the Chloe and Adam romance. Or Audra and Adam. Kamna says, is it just wishful thinking, or did anyone else think that Audra was turned on by Adam's take no prisoners attitude in the bar scene at the end of Wednesday's episode? I really hope Adam and Audra get together. Not only would it be explosive, but it'll drive Sally crazy. Yes! You know what? That's a perfect idea. Hook Adam up with Audra just as Sally's starting to have the turnaround. Let him flaunt it in her face a little bit for a while. I'm kind of wondering if Sally and Nick are about to break up, and I wonder if Nick and Sharon are going to get back together. I don't know. They are really working closely together at the new company. Gary says, I hope Sharon won't be reduced to just another business talking head like everyone else. Ugh, Gary, I hope so too. I have to say, I totally agree. Sharon has changed a lot, and it's fine, but as you say, she's kind of a business talking head. There's not a whole lot of personality coming out of her right now. It's mostly just, I want business, which is the same thing that everyone else on the show is saying. It's not particularly unique. Frankly, neither is the name SNA, if you ask me. Sue W says, all I can think is SNL. Saturday Night Live. Dolores says, the change flashed a warning of a doomed/flawed start. Sharon's first, Nicholas is second, and Adam is last. SNA. The order, as I see it, should be ANTS. Just my observation. But ANTS is an abbreviation for answer, which is something that this company would be as a media possibility. This change having driven a positive hidden message. Oh, I like that. ANTS. Answer. That would have been good. Definitely better. Well, about the partnership, Victoria says these three do not know how to cooperate. Sharon and Adam have made large decisions on their own. Nick has rubber-stamped Sharon's decisions and vetoed Adam's. They need to find a rhythm of working together if they're going to succeed. I'm not hopeful. I'm glad they changed the name. Augustus. It's difficult to pronounce. SNA Media is not stellar, but it's easier to say. Alan says, so Sharon and Nick can choose the company headquarters and the hideous new company name without any input from Adam, and that's supposed to be perfectly fine. Someone explain this. 2 votes against 1, okay, but no discussion at all? This is how to foster goodwill when there's already so much tension? Yeah, Adam didn't get any say in any of that, but it was Sally's sage advice that helped him realize he just needed to go along with whatever they were saying, don't you know? Victoria says, the whole idea of Nikki's encouragement of giving up on Adam is frustrating. Adam leveraging his information to get the company he wanted should have pleased Victor. If Victoria had done this, Victor would have named a new product after her. Victoria also says, my question to the Y&R writers is, why redeem the character of Adam only to have his family superficially accept this changed? Instead of weaving him into the family as Michael was into his, Adam is left on the outskirts. As a viewer, I scratch my head because it doesn't create a better story. Dang, Victoria, that's a really good point. It's like everyone in the Newman family, Adam does something heroic, and then everyone in the Newman family is like, all right, well, I guess you're okay. But then it doesn't take very long before they're right back to saying he's done all these bad things. But your point of why don't they weave him in the way that Michael was weaved into the Baldwin family, that is completely genius. Where suddenly they accept Adam, and not only that, but they're the ones kind of always getting in trouble, and he's the one side-eyeing them, and like, okay, well, I guess, like him kind of being above it all and having to get everybody out of trouble. Like, that is really smart and would be a great new way to evolve that family dynamic. Gee, I wish there was a suggestion box you could put that in. I guess this is it. Oh, well, Diana says it looks like Heather's going to be sticking around. The first time she made her appearance when she first came back to Genoa City, I didn't care or take any interest in the character. But I have to say, since she came back as Phyllis's attorney, I found myself liking the character. I like the idea of Heather creating some drama and turmoil for Lily and her relationship with Daniel. I look forward to seeing what's in store for the character of Heather and her storyline. Yeah, I like Heather too. I think she seems like a mature woman, and the show needs more of those. Mature women. Sue W says, I find her natural and relatable, and I'd like to see more of her whole messy relationship with Daniel play out now that he's back with Lily. Yeah, natural and relatable is a good a good word for it. But I think probably they've decided to bring her back and on to make room for this, the space where Crystal Khalil is going to be gone. She is, when I saw her on screen in the previews of Friday's show, looking a little jealous maybe of Heather and Daniel having a talk. I could see that she was pregnant. She just had the pregnant look about her. And then and I don't know if this is her first pregnancy or not. I don't know very much about the actress, but I thought to myself, oh, well, okay, Y&R's definitely setting up Heather to be there to fill the space in the time that Crystal Khalil is gone. Like maybe there's going to be a problem in Lily and Daniel's relationship and she needs to go off to deal with it, or who knows what, but I'm for it. I'm ready for it. Heather can keep his seat warm while Lily's gone. That's fine. And Nate can keep my seat warm any day. Tina B says, did Victor give Nate the portfolio of Augustus as a test to see if Nate would share the info with Victoria, or if Nate would keep it from Victoria as a power move? Ooh, good question. I wasn't sure about that. Sherrod says, the controller is testing Nate to see if he will keep it a secret as a power play. If Victor wanted Victoria to know about SNA, he would have given her the portfolio. After all, he's given her everything else. Bird. Yeah, I didn't figure out what that was all about, but you're totally right. He's given Nate the information to find out if he keeps it from Victoria or feeds it to her. Gary asks a good question, saying, Allie, do you see Nathan Hastings as a kind of Brad Leapfrog Carlton type of character, climbing the ranks? A difference is Brad wormed his way to the top from pool boy, while Nate already had a more prestigious career as a heart surgeon. They peg Nate as ambitious, but cutthroat business tycoon, if he is that, but that'll always be a step down from doctor. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, he was a doctor. Brad was a pool boy. I wasn't there for that part. When I came on, Brad had already climbed the ladder, but I guess I just don't see it that way. I don't feel like Nate's over here shirtless, flexing his muscles outside all summer, just waiting for the girls to take him in. I feel like Nate is sincere, but at the end of the day, his loyalty probably is to himself more than anyone else. Oh, and Gary also says, a familiar theme I know, but just today, it again grabbed me at how vital the re-erected athletic club is to the show. Here's a tiresome meeting between bridegroom Tucker McCall and Nate. Are these two men really free to talk at the little society restaurantette? No, they need a man bar. Big and expansive, where they can't be overheard in speaking their devilish truths. The athletic club sets the backdrop for all the sophisticated, confidential talk that goes on between all the characters. It is perfect, and dare I say, needed it in all the years that it was gone. It's the only real elegant place in town, and it's big, big, big. Even more so now. Where did Y&R come up with the money and space to create that Chancellor dressing room for Ashley on her wedding day? Yeah, I love the athletic club set. It is huge, and it gives the opportunity for many conversations to be happening at the same time. And the way it's broken up with the shelving and the tables, it's easy. Like, they've got room to have the conversation, but there's also room that they could be overheard. And yeah, the set's right. That set is right. They did good bringing it back. Well, I am going to end with some really good news from Tina Cole. After the talk from the latest Y&R Chat about Melissa Claire Egan welcoming her son and Cameron Grimes and Crystal Khalil being pregnant, I have also joined the club and added a brand new Y&R viewer. Y&R for me now is being watched at any hours of the day or night with a bottle in my hand. My activity in the comment section might be more lacking for the time, but being as I still look forward to the weekly podcast. I will say though, during those extra hours of no sleep, I am thinking of making an addition to my new baby's name by adding Newman Chancellor Abbott Winters Hamilton to the end of it. Is that too long? Oh, yay! That is wonderful news. Oh, it's a lot of hard work. Those are some long hours and some sleepless days, and I remember that. I remember feeling so exhausted, but it's also one of those precious periods of time in your life that you'll look back on and always cherish. And I'm gonna cherish it right along with you. I feel like, wow, we have a Y&R Chat baby now. Oh, congratulations, T. Nicole. We love you. That is the happiest of happy notes to end on. Oh, well, how about, has anybody else got some happy news? Let's keep the good news train going. Go to yrchat.com. Let me know if you've got a wedding or baby or anything exciting going on in life right now. And of course, let me know what you're thinking about the show. Oh boy, there's always something going on. We'll see what's going on next week at this time. I love you guys so much, and I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your week. And I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.